Alrighty, guys, we're back for Urabrask's Talent, and this is a Bloomburrow standard brew. I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. But first things first, this was a suggestion down in the comments. So thank you so much for the suggestion. It's going to be a fun one. Out of all the Urabrask lists, this might be one of the jankiest that we've put together, but we have a lot of fun new cards to try with Urabrask, so who knows, maybe it won't be janky. Urabrask is a 4-mana, 4/4 legendary creature rocking that first strike, which actually does come in handy, honestly. Now, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Urabrask deals 1 damage to target opponent. Then you add a red mana. Beautiful. And then for 1 red mana, you exile Urabrask, return it to the battlefield transformed, under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery, and only if you've cast 3 or more instant and or sorcery spells this turn. So it comes back as the Great Work, which on Chapter 1 of this saga deals 3 damage to target opponent and each creature they control. Chapter 2, create 3 treasure tokens. Chapter 3, until end of turn, you may cast an instant and sorcery spells from any graveyard. If a spell cast this way would be put into a graveyard, you exile it instead, exile the Great Work, then return it as Urabrask, which is actually really sick. But all 4 of them for a good reason. This is actually the main build around, and we actually only have 1 other creature packed in, and that's going to be Ojer, Axonil, Deepest Might. Beautiful stuff. Actually not going to go over it because it's not the main build around. Over here on the top end, we do have a Virtue of Courage, which are actually going to rearrange for the adventure side, as that's going to come first. You're going to be dealing 2 damage to any target, and then cast it later on as Virtue of Courage, very rarely, but you never know. There's a reason it's a 1 of and not a 4 of, though. So here's some of the new stuff that I talked about. Playful Shove is a 2-mana sorcery speed, oh dear, deals 1 damage to any target, oh dear, and then draw a card. It's so janky, bro, but I actually have a lot of hope in it. Because, so 1 damage to any target, poke the opponent's face, and then it replaces itself. And the hope here is that instead of just 2 mana, we'll have Artist Talent on the board too. This is a 2-mana enchantment class. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do draw a card, that's a decent ability. At level 2, though, this is what we want. For 2 and a red, non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Okay, now we're talking. Now our Lightning Strike becomes a Lightning Bolt, right? Which, by the way, we have 4 Lightning Strikes in here. Do you have other Burn Pact? And we have all 4 Shocks as well. That'll come in handy, hopefully. But yeah, having Playful Shove at 1 red mana when Artist Talent is on the board, now we're talking, because any cards that replace itself is going to be really, really good when you have the Urabrask on the board, also replacing the mana that you're using to spend on all these cards, right? Which is also why we have Might of the Meek in here. Even though we don't have many creatures, this is literally just in here to help us pop off with the Urabrask. So target creature gains trample until end of turn. Okay. And then it gets +1/+0 until end of turn if you control a mouse. Let me double check. Urabrask is, in fact, not a mouse. And then draw a card. So it replaces itself. So that's what I mean. We're trying to pop off with that Urabrask and just keep playing cards that replace themselves. There's also why Flip a Coin is in here too for 2 and a red, instant speed, deals 1 damage to any target. At least this one's instant speed, right? Now you create a treasure token too, which could really come in handy, and then you also draw a card, so it replaces itself. Okay, we have a couple Brotherhood's End, because that's going to be important, and just wiping the board is going to be very, very important. We also have Demand Answers in here too as a 4 of, so 2 mana instant speed. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you sacrifice an artifact or discard a card, and then you draw 2 cards. And the reason we're opting for the Demand Answers is because every now and then you might pop the artifact treasure that you got with Flick a Coin instead of wanting to actually discard a card in hand too. So that's why we're opting for this over some of the other abilities that do like the exact same thing. 24 mountains. I hope that's not too many, and I hope it's enough as well, because we like pretty much want to get Urabrask down as soon as possible. Right on turn 4, get Urabrask down, and then hope that the opponent doesn't just immediately remove the Urabrask. But if we're up against that style of deck list, then the hope there is then too, you actually see excess mana, so you can get the Urabrask down and start popping off right away with it too. Instead of spending all 4 mana, you spend 4 of your mana and you might have your 5th already available. All right, guys, honorable mentions. I thought about some other removal, like this Galvanize could have been pretty cool. Thrill of Possibility looks like I wanted to bring up the thing about Demand Answers that I already brought up. Volcanic Spite, I thought about. Witch's Mark, same thing. I guess this could be traded out for Demand Answers, but this is Sorcery Speed too, and there's not too many creatures packed in. Into the Fire is a card to consider, and Mistress Command is a card I considered for the list too. All right, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so I look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. We got right into that first game, guys. What am I expecting from the build? I think it's going to be pretty janky. If that wasn't obvious while I was going over the deck, I do think it's going to be janky. But hey, when we pop off with Urabrask, we're really going to pop off. So this is a great hand. Artist Talent and Urabrask in our opener. I called the deck list Urabrask's Talent for a reason. Let's do this, man. I keep forgetting to change my card sleeves around and everything. We've been putting so many deck lists together for Bloomburrow that it's like I forget every other deck. I get to change the cosmetics. Okay, Swift Spear. I mean, Playful Shove. No, it's the Artist Talent. It's gonna be so silly playing that Playful Shove. So Artist Talent, hopefully this Brotherhood's End takes out a couple Swift Spears or a couple 1-drops, right? It's probably going to have to be Brotherhood's End over boosting the talent, but I guess you never know. They might have a really slow turn. Swing for 5. No mountain. That's what I call a slow turn. We should, right? Yes. Yes, we take this opportunity. We should also remove the Swift Spear, but it's fine. It's fine. I'd rather remove it with a 1-mana Lightning Strike than a 2-mana Lightning Strike. Then also 2-mana Brotherhood's End too. So mana off the top. This is why we're running 24. Like, you want to see that right on time. They find their second mountain, and now we're in danger. Second mountain last turn, we would have been already crying over our loss for this turn, right? But luckily they missed that mountain, giving us an opportunity. Sugwith Swift Spear. Crescendo maybe? With both mana? Dreadmaw's Ire. Luckily that doesn't read enchantment on there as well. Just artifact. Oh crap, dude. That's a big turn for the opponent, man, with just 2 mana. Okay. So, other talent. We're gonna start trading some stuff out because we're looking for the looking for the mana. We want to keep the Urabrask, of course, because we're trying to do that thing. Without more creatures, is it actually the Brotherhood's End play? Or the Brotherhood's End trade? I guess. It's a little risky, but I'm looking for more, man. Another Artist Talent. Alright. Lightning Strike. Trade the Artist Talent. See what we see. There's our 4th. Alright. We could trade the Playful Shove. Sorcery Speed. I'm going to keep it since we have the Urabrask. I think it's going to be important. Decline. Yeah, I still think it's going to be a little bit important. And it kind of trades itself out anyways. So we're just going to keep the Lightning Strike available. We could Playful Shove for the turn, but yeah, no, we want the Urabrask on the board first. Alright, opponent, let's see it, buddy. We're at 6. We could easily die, but we have Lightning Strike, so that's important. Nothing from the opponent, guys. It's probably a Lightning Strike then, right? Let's get that Urabrask down and established. Urabrask does not get picked up by Lightning Strike, but our face does. So it could be Lightning Strike now, and then Lightning Strike on their turn. Lightning Strike. Come on, opponent. Miss it. Miss it. Come on. We got the setup. We're ready. We're ready. Come on. Dude, I'm on the edge of my seat. They plot up a slick shot show off. Okay. Okay. Dude, let's freaking do this. We're going to start with the Playful Shove. Okay. We should probably not trade out with the artist talent. Not yet, right? Not until we have to. Flick a coin is pretty good. That also replaces itself. We should do that. And same thing with these artist talent. We should decline for now. Since the demand answers, we're going to probably trade into itself, which I guess we could still trade one out then. Should be fine. Yeah, we just want to keep going. Just want to keep going, man. Shock is great. Decline. Decline. Yeah, maybe we should trade out one of these demand answers. Maybe. But whatever I find, I want to be able to draw more anyways. Yeah, no, that makes sense. We trade one out. And then we can trade the mountain out. And then we'll trade the mountain out to the demand answers anyways, right? We'll do it that way. So, oh, we can also sacrifice an artifact. I didn't even consider that. So we do want to sacrifice the artifact. That way we can trade out the mountain to the artist talent still. All right, trade it out, see what we see. Mountain, trade it out, see what we see. Mountain. All right. All right. Another demand answers. Yep, here we go. Discard. We're going, dude. We're going. Opponent is a champion for sticking this out, but like for real, we could miss. So Might of the Meek is going to be one that we keep. So we go decline. Wait, we have lethal now. We do have lethal. Because we can swing with the Urabrask. This is crazy, dude. Oh, lightning strike. That'll work too, right? That'll work as well. We'll go lightning strike. We're still just pinging. We still didn't flip the Urabrask, by the way. The opponent's just chilling. GG opponent. GG, buddy. Oh man, we got so lucky. We really did. They had to miss the mountain. That was important. And they did. Then they found it the turn after, and then they had to miss the second lightning strike too. Like, everything about that was so incredibly lucky. Hey man, that's what the deck is trying to do now. The question is, can we do it without getting really, really lucky based on the opponent getting really, really unlucky, you know? I guess they technically could have mulliganed the one mountain hand, right? But I can also see certain hands being very keepable in mono red. I've definitely kept one mountain hands. So completely understandable. Oh yeah, mulligan. Oh yeah. Yeah, Might of the Meek, as you guys saw, it's only good after things are established for this one, but early removal super important. Oh, well, you know what? We had such a good first game. But let's give it a shot since we have Urabrask in hand. We technically have early removal with the Virtue. It's really bad. Don't get me wrong. This is probably a mulligan. But, like, we'll give it a shot. Okay, Artist Talent. We could trade out Might of the Meek, but yeah, no, we just want to wait. Alright, Valley Quest Caller. That actually helps the... Actually, nothing in our hand hits either of those now. That's not good. Oh, second Urabrask. Alright, let's get the Artist Talent down. Since Virtue doesn't hit either of those anyways. We could be in a lot of trouble here. Call Rabadon Cavern. Brotherhood's End would be good to see, for sure. Still, yeah, Brotherhood's End would be really good to see, but we only have 2 of them, so we have to think about what we're doing. They have 8 on the board already. They could easily get more damage through. Another quest caller, a 1-drop rabbit would be like an extra 4 damage with 8 on the board already. Excuse me. I guess, could they find lethal next turn? If they play a land, I guess so, right? I think so. All right. Artist talent. Let's see an opponent. Let's see it, buddy. Yeah, no, this was a big mulligan hand. Second Urabrask was particularly bad, but that doesn't mean we want 3 Urabrask. We very much want Urabrask. That's what the deck list is doing. They do find their 4th. I think it's possible that they could find lethal. It'd start with like, it would start with another quest caller buffing wide, or anything that buffs wide here. Wow, they take the turn to establish Knight Errant of Eos. With the Artist Talent, I would say that's pretty risky for the opponent. With Artist Talent, they could consider like a big red, right? A flick a coin is not bad. We do have the Urabrask, but their mentor is a problem. Urabrask's first strike is really good, though. I mean, there's no way that, like... There's no way we survive the turn with the Urabrask surviving too, right? There's no way. Like, if we do, though... Okay, we gotta try it. We got to. There's no way. Absolutely no way. Like, this mentor has trample too. That mentor's getting through regardless, because I want this Urabrask to survive. They boost the mentor. Oh, yeah. Recruit or... Oh! That also works. They can grab a rabbit on this. Full swing. We block the Knight Errant. Extra rabbit. That is 10 going through. Oh, I guess they could buff wide too. Yeah. That also works. Yeah, so that's actually 13 going through. Wait a minute. Wow. This first strike's so good here. It's going to be 3 less than... It's going to be 4 less damage, which was actually only 10 damage then. Wait, what am I mathing, dude? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, man. Sometimes I automatically math and it works out all right. And then other times I actually have to think it through. First strike, taking care of the quest caller meant 3 less. No, it only buffs the rabbits. So the Knight Errant was getting its buff from the War Leader anyway. So it was only 2 less there on each of these. And then a 3rd less because it's 1 less creature on the board for the mentor damage too. So the Knight Errant still had its boost as well. Yeah. Interesting. Let's keep the ball rolling. So if there was a chance to actually have the Urabrask, right? If there was for some reason a chance to like pass back to our turn, technically we could have won. Technically we could have just popped off. We had enough cards to replace itself. So I think it was worth the risk, right? A much better hand than the last one, guys. Like much better. All right, Swift Spear. Unfortunately, not being picked up by the Playful Shove. Ooh. Artist talent. Dude, when you're playing jank like this, sometimes this is how you have to play it. You know what I mean? Just slam the key pieces onto the board and hope. And this mono red player found their second mountain right away. They go for the slick shot plot, which is probably really good for them. We're going to want to instant speed hit that slick shot for sure. But do we have the turn? No, probably not. No, probably not, right? We don't have the turn. Right? Okay, call me crazy, man. I'm going for it. Artist talent. I guess you just like never know. Everything being cheaper here could be really, really good for us. Let's see how much damage the opponent can pull off here on turn 3. Slick shot show off number 2, then the first one. And a monstrous rage. That's not that much. We're fine. We're fine, dude. It's going to be, let's see, an extra 6, 7, 8. 8 damage from one Monstrous Rage. We're fine. Ow. Alright. Alright. So. Everything costing less is so cool. Virtue of Courage. We should do all of this on our turn, so that way they can't get these to a safe spot, right? So we can go you onto Show Off. Let's trade out the Flick a Coin. I'm not seeing that do too much right now at being at 2 mana. It does replace itself with the treasure though. I think we're gonna trade it out, look for a land. Oh, Flick a Coin. Okay, that works, I guess. Right? Since we were a little bit afraid there. Slick Shot Show Off number 2. Probably the same concept. Flick a Coin. Again, the 2 mana, I know it, we get the treasure from it, but... Alright. Then we have Playful Shove, which does not pick up the Swift Spear, and we should hit the Swift Spear now. Like, losing all this is terrible. It's all 1-for-1 trades. But... we might survive the turn. We might be able to get the Axonil down. I don't want the Shove to replace itself only to find a mountain off the top. I want to be able to trade out whatever we see off the top with the talent, but also I want Shove to be on the board. Or I want Axonil to be on the board when we play the Shove too. So 3 pieces of burn for 3 creatures. Spear number 2. Could still die this turn easily, guys. Easily. Questing Druid. Alright. See what they see. Challenger and Hero. 2 cards still in hand. Alright. Artist Talent. My hope here, of course, is to have the Axonil not die when we block the Swift Spear, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be forced to block the Swift Spear. And it is as easy as Monstrous Rage. So they swing with Swift Spear, right? And a Monstrous Rage threatens lethal, so we're forced to block. Wow. Hero, 1 card remaining. So no swing means no... yep, no swing means no Monstrous Rage. That is huge for us, man. So this specifically reads, red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Axonil's power to an opponent. That source deals a damage equal to Axonil's power instead. So it doesn't read to creatures. So we start with the Playful Shove. Getting that Virtue of Courage down could be cool, but we're in like so much danger. We could also Playful Shove a hero. Take 1 instead of taking any more. Yeah, I guess. That's not as fun. We're going down to 4. But like double heroes is really bad. And so taking care of those is probably going to be important. Mountain. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna start with Artist Talent number 2 then, right? And trade out one of the mountains. See if we can find some removal for one of those. Another mountain. Wow, that's pretty bad. Let's go for, so, source you control or just have them even cheaper. Even cheaper, right? That makes Virtue of Courage only 3. No matter what, we got to keep this back. Hopefully we can block the Heartfire hero, but I'm pretty sure we're dead. I'm pretty sure we're going to die. Luckily, the Questing Druid adventure side is only for the turn, so they lost a lot of the stuff that they got there. I don't know what they were looking for. Maybe mana then? Yeah, regardless of the block, like we could block Swift Spear. I got 2 cards in hand. The 1 gets through from the hero, but then they can just keep doing that with the hero anyways. So I'm pretty sure it's the hero block. Guys, they didn't swing. They didn't swing? Did they click through it? Oh, Callous Sellsword. Oh, I wasn't even considering that. I was like, what happened? I thought they made a mistake. So that's actually a very similar concept to just attacking and going Monstrous Rage onto the Heartfire hero anyways. because then no matter where we blocked, we would have, like, if we blocked with the hero, it's still going to get through. The prowess on the Swift Spear. So it really comes down to how the opponent wanted to play it out. So if they had a quest, for example, to play red things, then that was the correct order of things, and made sure that they played absolutely everything from their hand. Yeah, GG. I love seeing all the artist talent that we're seeing. I think overall, I think going all those 1-for-1 trades was really good for us. If they missed the second Swift Spear and maybe only saw one Heartfire hero, then we can't even say like we would have gotten a little luckier, because like they could have easily, if they missed that, they could have just saw some of their burn instead. And the burn after we got that low would have been really bad too. Brotherhood's End would have been pretty good this whole time. Opponent goes first. We're going to keep this. Might of the Meek is not for later. That is only to pop off later on. Something tells me this Brotherhood's End is going to come in handy. Lizard, mouse, otter, raccoon. Start with the swing. Okay. And then what? A mountain and a gecko. Oh, they're going to drop multiple things here. Might want to go Brotherhood's End right on turn 3 and then right on turn 4 as well. They're going wide here early on. Hopefully they don't get too many counters off the Gev. The Gev that they just played. Might of the Meek. Yeah, that's not great. Let's keep the Lightning Strike open, and we'll probably go Demand Answers and trade out one of the Might of the Meeks, because we don't want to lose the mountain yet. Because we're not flooding yet. Let's see what they end up doing here. I do hope they play more lizards, though. I think we take it. I think Demand Answers for the turn is going to be pretty good. Down to 11. Come on, more lizards. All the lizards. Oh, crap. They're playing around the board wipe. Okay, Demand Answers. Still going to be the play, though. Might of the Meek. They have something here. Oh, put a counter. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, mountain, and no question about it, Brotherhood's End. A good old-fashioned 3-for-1 will hopefully pull us back into this. Now they know Brotherhood's End. Oh, they're missing mana. Urabrask? Was a really good draw, dude. Okay. Okay. So, Might of the Meek on the Urabrask. Of course, before flipping Urabrask, you want to swing with Urabrask. Dude, GG opponent. They missed mana. It definitely sucks that the opponent didn't find a didn't find the black source required, and maybe they only had some 3-drops in hand. I see these lizard lists running a lot of the Jasper Flints or whatever. Yeah, they might have just had a bunch of 3-drops, or just maybe spot removal that required a swamp. Definitely sucks that we couldn't play it out, but I'll tell you what, if they did find that black source, I don't think that Urabrask was going to survive anyways. So again, let's see if we can get a victory where we're not getting lucky from the opponents getting unlucky. And guys, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. And also, if you like the video, make sure you drop it a like. And then if you like the channel, consider subscribing, because it really does help out the channel. And thank you. When it goes first, I like it. We're keeping it. Shock is open. We're going to be patient about the shock. We're going to be very patient. Carrot cake. I'm still going to be patient. Yep. They can keep their 1/1. Okay. I've been seeing a lot more Boros tokens. Like, when we first started seeing it, we were like, yeah, we're seeing like Boros tokens floating about every now and then. But recently I've been seeing a lot more Boros tokens. Let's establish that artist talent. Here's the thing about Boros tokens, guys. It runs get lost, usually. So I think the artist talent might have a really hard time here. Is that going to stop me from trying? No. Absolutely not. We almost have all the setup required to just absolutely pop off. So that's what we're going to try to do. They go level 2, draw a card. Yeah, Get Lost definitely exists in all the builds that can run it. It's a very versatile spot removal. Destroy evil. Oh, well, we still have Urabrask for next turn. I'm actually not too concerned here. I think we can still pop off. Yeah, a lot of versatile removal floating about standard right now. A lot of enchantment removal and some artifact removal in a lot of builds too. So it's actually pretty hard. Pretty hard to run certain things. So we have first strike. We're not getting into Lightning Helix territory here. And we're still not getting into... Oh, I guess they could double down on Elspeth Smite. Oh, no. No, Urabrask. Why did I risk the block? I felt so confident there that we were going to be safe. But they did 2 for 1. So, I mean, that's good at least, right? Because we still have card advantage then. We go Virtue. That'll be okay. I don't want a Brotherhood's End until they really start going wide. Urabrask's Forge exists in this list, so... In their list, I mean. So, Brotherhood's End might have some trouble anyways. Alright, we pass it back. End turn. Could also flick a coin, generate treasure, replace the flick a coin with the card drop, and then go Virtue onto the other bunny rabbit as well. Caretaker's Talent. Okay. If they got anything else here. They go for the swing. Alright. That's what I'll do. We'll replace the flick a coin with a card draw, see what we see. Mountain, I'll go for the Virtue. That way we'll have the 5th mana. Now we know we have it, and we can set up the Virtue next turn. Urabrask is pretty darn good too, though, guys. Maybe we should do that instead, since we have our 5th mana. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's time to pop off. We won't have the swing with the Urabrask, so we start with the card draw to see more. And we're going to flip the Urabrask is the big thing here. Wow, a 3rd shock is really good, man. You'll see why the artist talent was important too. When it comes time here with the Urabrask. But yeah, no, we do all of this, right? And then flip the Urabrask. Totally fine. A lot of damage just pouring through for the turn off of a terrific draw. Woo! Get a lot of treasures next turn too. Virtue can come down. We still have that safety net of Brotherhood's End. Yeah, we do all of it while we can, period. A little bit of life gain from the opponent's actually really, really good for them. Yeah, if Might of the Meek was something that gives haste instead, that would have been a wild turn, but it's very important that Might of the Meek replaces itself. Maybe we won't see why that artist talent is important this game. Great Work is sticking around for now. 3 treasure tokens. I mean, let's get the Virtue down. We might be okay here, man. We might be. No point dropping the Brotherhood's End right now. So next turn, guys, it flips back into Urabrask, and we can cast instants and sorceries from both graveyards. They go for a little bit of life gain. We can now cast that Lightning Helix from their graveyard, so I bet they have removal for the Saga. I mean, they didn't play a Get Lost yet, and they played the Destroy Evil early. I feel like it's gonna be removal, but if it's not, I think we can win next turn, and I think we could really win. I'm on the edge of my seat. They swing with the 1/1. They got 4 mana open. Temporary lockdown actually picks up our treasures, which is pretty brutal. Hopefully we don't need those. I don't think we will. Hopefully. The treasures really could have helped, but more mana off the top's pretty good too. All right, where do we start? We start with mana. We start with card draw. GG opponent. Very nice, dude. Very nice. All right. We got the deck win rate up to a 60%. We're making good time. We're about 35 minutes in. We're going to try one more game, even though I'd love to end on this high note, because how cool was this, right? So we were going to draw on the Might. We were going to start playing shocks at their face. We could see more off the top with the Virtue. Just everything was so cool. But, like, I'm having a really good time. If we lose the last one, who cares? Let's do this. Because you never know. We might actually be able to really pop off here. Urabrask is always really surprising. Every time I play with it, every time I play with Urabrask, it's always really, really surprising. Of course, it requires like a level of build around, but 24 land. This would be great. This would be amazing if we had 2 mana. We should mulligan. Try to get that last game victory anyways. I like it. Let's keep this. And we go Might of the Meek. Again, just not required until that late game after the setup. Hopefully that's okay. Going first means Artist Talent. On turn 2. We might be okay. And 4 Urabrask in here for a very good reason. Alright, Artist Talent level 2. Third, Mabel. Nice. We should definitely pop the Mabel. Or we could go level 3. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much +2 instead. And then we just start dropping all this at the opponent's face. And then just like not care about the Mabel. That seems really sketchy. And I like it. Let's do it. Let's do it. A trade out? Wait, why did I do this on our turn? I'm just so excited to just drop things at the opponent's face. No. We shouldn't trade anything out. Our hand is actually really good for what we've established. Guys, don't be silly like me. I always get very hasty with my plays. We should have kept the Lightning Strike open for the opponent's turn just in case they had something absolutely incredible. Like popping the Bivouac would not be terrible, for example. However, with what they just played, I think we're going to Lightning Strike their face anyways, because we still have Brotherhood's End to wipe their board. Mountain isn't bad. We're probably going to trade it out, though. Start with flick a coin to the opponent's face. See what we see. And then, and probably trade out the Mountain right now. No, never mind. Because we're going to draw on flick a coin as well. 3 to the opponent's face. Artist Talent. Treasure there. We want to wipe the board since we don't have like a way to get lethal through this turn. Well, unless we do trade this out, we go Lightning Strike. Trade that there. I guess we do it. Let's do it, man. Trade out the Mountain. It's a shock. It's a shock, guys. Wow, that's another 4. We could find it. We really could. But we're just going to hold it for next turn and make sure that this board is wiped. We should do that. And we'll trade out the Artist Talent. See what's on top. It was a Mountain. All right, good thing we didn't risk it. I'm going to keep it in hand to trade out next turn if we need it. That's pretty brutal, man. So now we just need some more burn off the top, and hopefully we can just filter it out. Find it with the talent. Nice. Good swing from the opponent. They're going to buff it a little bit more here with the Might of the Meek. Replace itself. We're going down to 12. And they are in danger. More mana off the top is really bad, though. We're going to trade it out and see if we can find lethal this turn. It's a Might of the Meek. Do we risk it? We do risk it. We do. Trade out the mountain. We draw. There it is. All right, guys. Holy cow, man. Trade that out. Sure, why not? GG opponent. It was a playful shove, too. That also would have been really good. What just happened, bro? Holy cow. We got the deck win rate up to a 66% for some reason. Let's go talk about this deck list, huh? That's pretty crazy stuff, dude, honestly. It did much better than what I thought it was going to do. Oh, for the common good. Nice. I needed a third one for a deck list. End of video pack. Let's do it. Outlaws. What do we got? Ooh, Mythic Wildcard. That's what you like to see. Urabrask's Talent. What happened, dude? What even? Oh, I also have a third Dragonhawk. Where'd I get this? Heck yeah, dude. I'm happy about that for sure. I gotta visit like a full dedicated dragon build soon. You guys want to see a dedicated dragon build? Let me know down in the comments. I'll bump it up the list as a comment suggestion. All right. Here's the deck list again, guys. Speaking of comment suggestions, thank you again for the suggestion. It's just to revisit Urabrask with some of the new cards we did. It was awesome. The Artist Talent is perfect for Urabrask. And in general, actually, Artist Talent has been doing a lot for me in every build that I've been putting it in. Now, there is a lot of enchantment removal like I brought up today, so that is a little sketchy, right? Overall, look, we performed really well. This deck list did pretty good. I think overall, though, it's going to be janky. I'd probably put it on the Do Not Craft list because you don't see Urabrask too much anywhere. It kind of requires a dedicated build. And then how good is that dedicated build going to be? Usually going to be probably pretty janky. Like it did perform pretty well today, though, but I don't think that 66% win rate would hold. Oh, that was such a fun time, though, wasn't it, guys? So anyways, Mythic on the Urabrask, if you have them, I guess, right? Other than that, the deck list is relatively budget, right? What do we got in here? Rare Artist Talent. And Artist Talent can also be used in like Big Red and stuff too. This could be something you consider crafting. Just remember, it's probably janky. So it like really depends what kind of deck lists you like to put together. Outside of that, I don't know how many of the Artist Talent I ended up crafting versus how many I ended up pooling from my original packs at the beginning. Not 100% certain, but because I'm a red player and the very specific red builds that I like to play, or non-specific red builds, right? All kinds of red builds. Like this was worth the craft. If I did craft any, it was worth it for me. Outside of that, you're probably not going to see it too often, right? Right, man, it was so much value in this. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about Artist Talent, dude. I think it's one to keep your eye on, maybe. Right? I think a lot of the talents, something to keep your eye on. They kind of feel all right overall. Anyways, that's rare. Brotherhood's End, rare. We got Mythic, Virtue, Mythic, Urabrask, Mythic, Ojer, Axonil. Then we got Common, Common, Uncommon, Common, Common, Common. A lot of commons packed in, so it's kind of sort of budget in a weird way, but also not. So here's an example here. If you're concerned, or like you really like the deck list, but you're concerned about what you have to craft, right? If you only have a couple Urabrask, it's probably okay to just pretend that this is a dedicated burn list and not craft all 4 Urabrask. Just use the 2 that you have and go up a couple more pieces of burn. I opted for all 4 because I have all 4, and it is the build around card. We're really trying to pop off with it. Of course, if you have 3, you play with 3 too. You guys know what I mean. If you don't have Axonil, you don't need it. You could drop it. You don't have to craft it. Drop it, go up more burn. Totally fine. or more ways to see more off the top. Ren's Resolve could be good, right? That should have made the honorable mentions for sure. Virtue of Courage. If you don't have it, drop it. Go up, different burn. Totally fine, man. Totally fine. And then Brotherhood's End is pretty important. And Brotherhood's End is going to be used in other deck lists too. I can't imagine dropping this. Every time you see it, you're probably going to be very happy to see it. And if you're not happy to see it, it's the card to trade out to the Artist Talent top ability. So I could actually see going up more Brotherhood's End. That could be one of the cards, like I'm saying, like, oh, drop these, go up some burn if you don't have them. This could be, if you have like 3 or 4 Brotherhood's End, that could potentially be the card that you go up in it. Like there's not any top end creatures or front end creatures that we're picking up off the Brotherhood's End. It's hopefully only hitting the opponent's creatures in this deck list. So more Brotherhood's End if you have it. If you wanted to trade these out, totally fine. The deck list performed well enough for me today to say I'm not actually going to trade out anything. But I am just bringing up some options for you guys. Outside of that too, then I'm still on the fence about the Artist Talent. If you only have 2 of them, it's probably fine to just play the 2 of and not craft the other 2 and just go up burn. So, you know, moral of the story here, if you don't have any of the rares or mythics, just don't play them and play more burn. I guess that's what I'm getting at here, right? But just note that it might not perform as well as we actually saw it do today. And I still think that the deck list should be labeled jank, but maybe I'm terribly wrong and maybe it's actually decent here. And Playful Shove with the Artist Talent level 2, actually just really like that. And I can't believe how easy it was to pull some stuff off in those matches. Cool, man. Cool. Oh, Might of the Meek. There's like no other instant or sorcery red card that replaces itself. So even though we're not doing anything else with this until we actually have established the Urabrask, it's still kind of sort of important to have. Actually, we saw in the last game where there could have been a lot that we seen off the top that could help us end the game, but it was a Might of the Meek. What ended up happening, of course, is it's an instant or sorcery, and we had the talent on the board, play the Might of the Meek, it replaces itself, we traded out the other card with the talent ability, so we actually just got to see a whole bunch more cards off the top until we found that burn, which happened to be the virtue in that one. So speaking of like going up burn, like of course the burn that hits the opponent's face is going to be very, very important. And these ones that read any target, it's going to be much more important than burn that just hits creatures and stuff. So keep that in mind when you're trading stuff out as well. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.